All right, well, welcome everyone to the next video that we have for our student organization advisors. Today we're going to be talking about how to help your students get through that mid-semester slump. Right around spring break and fall break, depending on which semester we're in. It kind of hits just that lull where students are just kind of burnt out on school, on their activities, their friends, family commitments, stuff like that. So I'm here to talk to you more about how we can help our students get through that and finish up strong with the semester. So some issues that students can go through, depending on the season, that you might notice is low energy levels. Students tend to think that they can stay up all night and do their homework and then catch up on sleep on the weekends, and eventually that's going to catch up with you. So they might be trying to do that. A lot of times, depending on the time of the semester, both spring and for fall, everyone's just got that sickness going on. You have flu going around, cold, stuff like that. So students are dealing with that as well. A lot of times, a lot of our students are making plans for next year or next semester. They're thinking about the classes they need to take. They're trying to figure out where they're going to live, try to get all their financial aid in order. So their minds are preoccupied doing that. You might even know, too, they might have some hidden conflicts between their roommates and friends. A lot of times, depending on the situation, they might have went into a housing situation where they didn't know the person, so they're trying to deal with, living with someone else who they might not know that well. Drug and alcohol use may increase, especially in the spring semester when we're right around spring break and going towards the summer when it starts getting warmer. Our students tend to go into those kind of things. Midterm anxiety, that's a very, very big thing. As well as seniors thinking about graduation, both in the fall and in the spring. They're trying to get all their stuff together. They're trying to make sure they're going to graduate on time. They're going to try and look for those jobs. And just the excitement of finally being done with college. Another thing is excitement or even depression about spring break. They might be excited that they're going to Florida, or maybe their plans that they had originally had fell through. So that's what they're thinking about. That's just what their minds are on. And depending on your student as well, they might be changing or deciding on their major. So what are some things that you can do to push past those issues? The first thing is focus on positives. Depending on how much you meet with your students or how good a relationship you had with them. Maybe start off with a meeting or a simple conversation of asking, what was the best part of your day, or what are you most looking forward to for spring break, or do you have any plans for this summer, any jobs, any cool trips you have going on. Focus on something other than schoolwork, something other than their involvement, something they can think about, that's something they can look forward to. Also encourage them in being other involved. I think a lot of times with students, and even myself, when you start to join an organization or do an activity or anything like that, you like to put all of your effort into it, right? And so encouraging our students to be well-rounded and have a nice portfolio and on their resume. Encourage them just to do a couple hours of the community service, or maybe just go try and visit another organization and find out what they do and get ideas from them, and just be more other involved in what they do right now. Also, promoting self-care is huge. Like we were talking about earlier, our students tend to think that not getting enough sleep in the week, they can make for it up on the weekend, or they're not eating properly, right? They're trying to go out and hang out with their friends on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all that kind of stuff. Encouraging them to get adequate amounts of sleep, having good, well-rounded meals, drinking lots of water, going to the gym, just going on a simple walk. A lot of times I try and just take students on walks throughout when it's nice out in the quad. That just promotes them to be walking with you. You also get a lot of things done during that time as well. Also offer something to look forward to. We're talking about focus on the positives. If spring break is coming up, or if summer's coming up, or they have an assignment due, or a big project, or a job interview, encourage them to look forward to that. Be like, you have this trip planned with your family or your friends. Tell me more about that. Or you have this job interview. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's focus on that some. All right, so supporting our busy students. I know for me personally, all the students I work at, they are very, very busy. They have work, they have their involvement, they have school, they have family commitments, they have anything else, the other interests they might have. Some things you think about are exams. A lot of times, depending on the student, they're very conscious about their schoolwork, so they're worried about their exams. Maybe they've developed some different friends, and that's kind of pulling them to one side of the stage, and they're trying to be back on this, and they're trying to balance that involvement, as well as job hunting, especially around this time in the spring semester. A lot of our students are trying to find those summer jobs, or they're trying to find that full-time job and internship, stuff like that. So they're trying to focus on getting their resume ready and doing the job hunt and going to go see career services and different things like that. But the real question is are our students too busy? I think a lot of times I have seen this, and this has almost happened to me a couple of times too. But a lot of students that I work with, they try and get in these busy contests. Like they're trying to say that I'm more busy than you are, or you're not as busy as I am because I have this many emails, or I have this many meetings I have to go to, or this, that, and the other. If you start hearing that, that's another key that the student you're working with or your student is just being too busy. They're not taking enough time for themselves. That they need to maybe tail it back a little bit. So questions that you can ask or even ask yourself is reasons of why. Like, why are they too busy? Maybe sit down with them and look at their calendar, look at their planner, and find out are they overcommitting themselves with other organizations, or are they trying to work themselves up to be more busy than they can be. Sit down with them and ask them, are they enjoying it? Are they enjoying being busy? Are they enjoying being in the organizations, their involvement that they're with in the community? Another question you can ask yourself as well in your organization as well as a student, like, are they feeling valued? If you're working with a student and trying to figure out if they might drop an organization or stop being involved with something, another question to ask is, like, are you feeling valued in that organization or in that group? If they're not feeling valued, that's another thing to say. Like, if you're not feeling valued, then you might need to go somewhere else and take your talents with someone or a group that is going to make you feel valued. What is their reaction when you ask them, are you too busy or are you overworking themselves? If they get defensive, that's another sign of they're just being too busy. They're trying to either try and show themselves off or just try and take on way too much. But if they react like, I think I might be, then that's another good conversation to ask them. Well, it's good that you're noticing that. What can I do to help you out? Try and see if you can help them work smarter. A lot of times when I've become too busy, I've just kind of sat down and figured out what can I do better to be more efficient with my time. Am I doing things that I don't actually really need to do? Am I taking too long of breaks in between my studying, or am I waiting too long to start on a project, or am I overcommitting myself and staying too long in an event, or when I have other priorities? A lot of times too, life can get involved. This can be both in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in their personal and their professional lives. Depending on your relationship that you have with that student can dictate how deep you can get involved in that conversation. If they have some family issues going on, some friend issues, that could be pulling them away from where they're at as well. So that's a very, very short way to think about this, how to push through this slump. But always encourage your students. I'm already starting to say it to mine. We're almost at spring break. We're almost at fall break. Wherever you're at, like, you're on the home stretch. Just keep pushing through. Just keep your head down. Get all the stuff you need to get done, because before you know it, we're going to be on break. Again, thank you for watching. If you need anything, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I look forward to talking to you guys again.